I am never one that's going to be like, yo, K got championships because he came here. Like, no, he helped us get championships. Now, what I will say is he never gets the championship if he doesn't come here, because I just don't foresee that happening anywhere else, or else we would have saw it again happen somewhere else. Here.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you believe they told me that I would never make it? Now we smiling in their faces, smiling in their faces. All right, I got a caller on the line. Basically, what I wanted to ask you, as you can see, we're talking about Draymond Green with Kevin Durant, the situation with Golden State. In your opinion, do you think Kevin Durant wins a championship outside of Golden State?
First of all, thank you for taking my call. So onto your question, KD, honestly, I don't think he would have won a championship if he didn't go to Golden State, and here's why. When he went to Golden State, he went to them because they beat him and they came back from the 3-1 deficit. We all know this. The problem with that is KD didn't go there just because they beat OKC. He went to Golden State because he didn't want to be the main guy. If you look at his career in OKC, he was the main guy the whole time. So every time they lost, they'd look at him. Every time something went wrong, they would look at him. So the issue with that is I feel like KD just was never going to succeed under pressure, and he's not the type of guy to want to be the alpha. He doesn't want to be the top dog in the room. So if he goes to Golden State, he has 3 other dudes that are going to be like more leaders, or want to be leaders rather than just be followers. And that's what KD pretty much has been like his whole career, especially after he left OKC. He's basically just been a follower. And I just don't feel like if he would have stayed in OKC, would they have probably went back to like the Western Conference Finals? Most likely. But I don't know if they even would have beat Golden State coming back from that, because I just don't feel like under pressure, either him or Westbrook really can succeed, because they both just, when the game's on the line, they just crumble. And that's like they're always going to be the issue for both of them. And if you look at their careers, that's always come up even since then. So nothing's really changed. And that was 9 years ago. So
yeah, no, that's actually a great point. I was when I was thinking about that whole Golden State run, I think the reason that KD excelled a lot in Golden State is because I feel like he didn't have to be that leader. He could kind of just hoop. And I feel like KD likes to hoop. Like, let me go out there, let me get my buckets. And I don't have to really take the fall, because this is really Steph and Draymond and Klay's team. I'm kind of like just the new addition to the crew. And if we fail, they're not going to put that blame on me. I don't have to be a leader. I can just play ball. And I think the reason he probably left is because we obviously knew he wanted to prove he could win on his own. And I think when he left Golden State, obviously he wasn't able to reach that mountaintop again. And I think that's the issue with KD is he's never going to get that monkey off his back, right, when it comes to winning. And like in 2016, if you think about, what he could have done, right, it's like, where do you think he could have went besides Golden State? You know what I mean? Like, going to Cleveland would have been even more of a trash move, because they just won the chip, right? So I agree with your statement. I think you made some good, valid points there. I'm curious though to hear your opinion on this though, right? If Kevin Durant doesn't go to Golden State, do you think we still look at him as the Kevin Durant we look at him today?
honestly, I would say yes. And that's mainly because I think the majority of NBA fans don't really care about him winning those 2 chips in Golden State anyway. Mm-hmm. So at the end of the day, I feel like we're always going to look at KD, or most fans are going to look at KD as like, the scorer. Mm-hmm. Just basically just like a really good scorer who just didn't really like excel by himself in a sense, like as like a leader.
Yeah.
So yeah, he did win 2 chips, 2 Finals MVP. Yeah, he balled out, but that was because he had no pressure. Mm-hmm. He didn't have to like lead the team really. That was Steph's job. Like Steph Steph loves being that leadership role. It's not for everybody. I think we just know it's not for KD as well. And at the end of the day, I would view KD pretty much the same. To be honest with you, half the time I don't even really remember him winning those chips because
That's funny.
they're not really memorable championships.
They're not.
To be honest with you,
They're not. It was like a blur, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's basically a blur because the Warriors already won without him, and they won before him and they won without him. So after him, yeah. So it doesn't really feel like they didn't need. Okay, here's what I'll put it this way: they didn't need Kevin Durant. They just needed him to not be on OKC. Like,
do you think they needed KD to beat LeBron in Cleveland again? I think they were up 3-1. I'm like, why would they need it? I mean, they didn't close the deal. If Draymond maybe don't get hurt, who knows how they close the deal, right? But like, I always go confused as to the reason why, they got KD, because I feel like they could beat Cleveland again if they were to roll it back. I mean, what do you think?
I think they could have. Honestly, if you look at the series, they played pretty well. It's just Harrison Barnes just didn't really was like probably the only player that really didn't play well in terms of like, knowing his role and stuff and just hitting open shots. I think that's the main issue. Obviously, you see that's why they let him walk and they signed KD. Obviously, KD's a better player, but I think if Harrison Barnes hits like shots and just scores more consistently, they obviously would have won, and then they wouldn't have felt a need to even sign KD.
Yeah. I always look at that as an odd thing that happened. I think that was like one of the most surprising things. I remember it was yesterday. It was the 4th of July, 2016. And I seen that and I was like, what? Like, that's crazy. You know what I mean? It was like, why? You know what I mean? I was confused. It was weird, but
yeah. I mean, the league was really competitive, honestly, before he left. Yeah. I think it was like a good little balance. It was. At the end of the day, they really could have just had a rematch the next year for the Western Conference Championship. Yeah. I feel like.
I think it would have been better.
It would have honestly been better from a fan standpoint because we could have seen a rematch like that next year. And then obviously KD leaves OKC, they're not going to be the same, so that takes them out of the picture. So you kind of
they blew a 3-1 lead too. They had the Warriors beat, so I don't understand why he didn't want to run it back. I don't know if he. I think sometimes I
think the issue was Russ, he just knew that Russ was always going to be there, obviously, and no matter what, KD's obviously going to be viewed as the number one guy, and obviously take more blame, even if Russ is Russ. Yeah, you know how Russ can be. Right. We're still going to look at KD to like save the day and be the guy. So I think he really wanted to leave OKC, not just because he wanted to prove that he could win a championship, but he wanted to prove that he wanted to just get away from Russ at the same time too. I think obviously he had a good relationship with Russ at first, but I think over time he just saw the way Russ played and just felt like he couldn't win with him, which is true most likely. But they, like you said, they did have a 3-1 lead. So
yeah. Very true.
They could at least made the finals. So who knows if they would have beat the Cavs that year? But you never know.
Yeah, I mean, minus the playoff downfall. Do we look at Kevin Durant like we look at James Harden right now, minus the choke jobs in the playoffs? Would we look at him in the same breath like he never got it done? Like if he never wins a championship, stays with OKC, doesn't go to the Warriors. I mean, who knows if he actually could win one? Who knows how Russ and KD would have been playing against Kyrie and LeBron? Who knows? They might have won, but I'm just saying, if he doesn't go to Golden State and he just becomes like that, like I said, I don't know how many scoring championships he has, but he just gets eliminated in the second or third round. He goes to the finals, maybe again, loses. Are we looking at him like we look at like a guy like a James Harden, where he got an MVP? Or are we look at him like an Allen Iverson? Are we looking at him in that same breath? Because I feel like he gets ranked above like those guys like AI and Charles Barkley and Karl Malone and those guys who were able to get to the promised land, not deliver, but still have great careers. Like, I'm curious to where he would rank in people's minds because even though I don't think people take those championships seriously, I think people low-key still give him credit and call him, hey, I'm a 2-time NBA champion. Even though it was a cheap way to get a ring, I still feel like, you know what I mean?
I think the reason why you can't really compare KD to those guys is, no disrespect to like any of the guys you named. Yeah. I would say if you were to take all those people, all those players, and put KD in that mix, you have to put KD ahead of them because KD can fit in any system.
Yeah.
Like, for real. Like, KD can fit in any basketball system. I don't know if all those guys could really fit into, like, any NBA play style. So I feel like I have to
get
put
that.
KD ahead
I
of
get
them
that.
because I feel like he can be the missing piece on any team because he can
Mhm.
fit in with, like, any offense.
Yeah.
I don't know if those other guys could really fit in with any offense.
Okay, I can see that. I can see that. That's fair. Do you think that even if KD doesn't win, you're saying you still kind of would have him ranked above those guys like that, like the Melos, the AIs, the the guys like that? You think he would still have a little bit more, or will they start looking at him like a T Mac or AI or Melo, where like, hey, he was just a great scorer, but he wasn't a winner. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
I know what you're saying. I probably would put him just a little bit ahead of most of those guys because I feel like KD had tried a little bit harder on defense.
mhm.
You know, I would say most of those guys didn't really care about like how they're viewed in terms of their defensive game. So
Yeah.
that's probably why they didn't really win. I'm not gonna lie, KD was the reason why OKC didn't win, but I mean, he's the reason why Golden State won too. So at the end of the day, I feel like you plug in a lot of those guys on championship teams, they're not really going to fit in as well.
Yeah.
Because they're not really going to buy in like fully. And I feel like, yes, KD can be annoying at times with the way he portrays himself on social media.
Yeah.
And how he always tries to say like he doesn't want to be a leader and he just wants to hoop.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, like, not everybody could be a leader. You need followers, but still, he fits into any system. And I don't know if all those guys are Hall of Fame guys. I don't know if they're really going to buy into a system that's already been built and have other All-Stars on it too.
Yeah, I get that. Kevin does have a pretty seamless game to play in different systems, and he's actually really good off the ball as well. Like, he doesn't have to have the ball to be effective as well. You know, I think he's a good catch and shoot. He can come off a pin down. I mean, there's different ways to use him. I mean, he's basically 7 feet tall, freaking 7-foot guard. You know what I mean, with guard skills. So you make some valid points, man. But yeah, that's all I really had, man. I appreciate you joining the show.
Awesome, man. Thank you for taking my call.
Of course, anytime. All right. So what do you guys think of that? Leave me your comments down below. This is an interesting call. Great caller. Great takes. If you have any questions or concerns, I don't know why I said questions, but if you want to leave your comments down below. My name is Tyler Rose. It's Tyler Rose TV. Hit that subscribe and hit the bell. I'm going to see you guys on the next episode. Peace.